Hey guys, so another video tutorial, and it's early morning, so there's a lot of light coming out from my windows in over here at the back of my studio. And the this video tutorial is basically on character orthographs and character anatomy, female character anatomy. Let me just fix the okay. So female character anatomy, and the purpose of this video is to help my students understand that how to create scale lines, how to create ruler lines in Paint Tool SAI, and how to create a character orthograph or a character sheet in Paint Tool SAI. You can also do this in Photoshop, but some people prefer to use Paint Tool SAI, and some people are a bit more picky about the character design. I'll be posting some more character drawings on anatomy and gestural drawing based on the response. So don't forget to follow us on social media, and these are the links. And also make sure that you keep watching us. We'll be teaching again in the next few uh, weeks in different places in Rawalpindi, as well as in the summer there will be summer classes on digital illustration and comic book production in Lums University. So do catch up on that. So here is the tutorial. Hope you guys like it. So here we are with another tutorial for Photoshop, and this is gestural drawing. So basically what we do is we draw a circle and then we draw an arc. Just trying to adjust the brush size and the dimensions. Also this video is about 6 times sped up. So let's just start with a warm-up sketch of a character. Now when we draw a character, these are the basic guidelines that you need to follow. And character drawing or gestural pose drawing always has like a balance. From left to right, the anatomy has to be balanced out in a particular way, and this is this is basically how you use guidelines. Now every pose and the arc accompanying it creates a difference in the character's overall posture. It has to have like symmetry. It has to have proper body weight accompanying it, so that it looks like that the character is balanced. So here we're using another technique in which we're using a circle for the waist and a triangle for the torso, and there are pretty much a lot of ways you can draw characters. So now this I'm drawing a character who's fairly like maybe like drawing on a wall or a mural or a painting, and it's got like a drawing palette or a painting palette in his hand, and the flow of the leg structure you can see. Now I'm really must say that looking at these drawings and how fast I'm drawing them, it really looks like that I've drawn this within a minute or so, within less than a minute. But yeah, I think it takes me about at least 3 to 4 minutes to draw each individual pose. Now the thing is that when you're drawing these gestural drawing poses the first time, okay, so where was it? Yeah, so the first time you're drawing these gestural drawing poses, it's really going to be a bit tricky to figure out the positioning of the arms, the shoulders, the elbows, etc. And you can go as wild with the arc design as possible, depending on how you want to go about with it. And you can always erase and move the head depending on how to fit the arc character. Either you draw the character from the side view, either you draw the character from the front view. It's totally up to you. But you need to understand, I'm going to be posting another tutorial video on the side view, front view, perspective drawings, or also known as the orthographic views, paint tool side. So this drawing session is basically a two-parter, as I mentioned in the video before, that we'll be refining the poses and adding detail muscles, detail bone structure. So this is basically initial stick figure structure of how the character's body dimensions and the symmetry or the balancing of the character's body will look like. Again, I did another wild arc design, arc sketch or arc line. So following the contours of the arc line, I'm drawing the character on top of the arc line. So in this drawing, I'm trying to figure out the dimensions or the positioning of the legs and the upper thigh. If you're riding a horse or maybe riding a bike, okay. So I'm going to do a bike thing. So I might need a reference of a bike to maybe make it look more realistic. But for now, let's go with like a rough sketch. We can always, in the next video, I'll show you how to like get a, what do you call it? Yeah, so in the next video, we can even like use a bike reference to figure out the positioning and the overall detailing on the scaling and the foreshortening of the bike and overall structure, the mechanical or the engineering structure of a bike. So this fairly looks like a bike. Now I can go as far as creating more detail, but looking at this picture, you get like the idea how the bike should look like. So drawing another basic pose of a character, and I think this time I'm drawing a character who's walking. So I'm increasing the distance of the torso and the waist, the character, and sometimes people ask me that how do you do this? I mean, like, well, I tell them the simple answer is it requires a lot of practice. I mean, like practicing daily 4 or 5 hours a day, and doing this for like a couple of years, after which you master this skill. And mind you, this is a skill. It's something not you are born with. Very few people are born with this skill, and very few hone in that skill. So it's also a little bit of luck, a little bit of inspiration, and also looking and following other artists, other great illustrators on YouTube and in real life. I have had, alhamdulillah, the opportunity of meeting some really great artists in my life face to face. So I'm more of like not that much big of a fan of watching tutorial videos, and I guess now you can say I'm a hypocrite because I'm making tutorial videos, but it's all right. I mean, and my students also need to learn, and this is a very good opportunity. I mean, like YouTube has revolutionized, and other social media platforms with video streaming have revolutionized how people learn. So I'm just following a trend, and a lot of people say that you should watch Google and watch videos. So what I've seen is that most of the time people do make a lot of tutorial videos, and there are a lot of advertisement distractions in those tutorial videos, or between those tutorial videos, and that actually distracts you from watching tutorial videos. Also, another thing, I would also say that when I was learning this from other people, physically, meaning them teaching me on a one-on-one basis, I really had more fun than watching YouTube videos, because once you're watching YouTube videos, you sort of like get distracted, and also you just keep on just watching YouTube videos. There's not that much effort put into the implementation of the drawings. So I think that's it for I think the drawings, and let's go to the next line. So now we are going to try to figure out. Now as you can see, the more you draw and your hand gets into it, the drawings and the flow of those drawings become more and more natural. You start drawing these characters and these poses with much ease. See, now my hand has like sort of like gotten used to it, so I'm now drawing it at much more ease, much more flow compared to the previous drawings that I did. So this time I'm drawing a character who's holding a shield and maybe a sword on the side. Yeah, so that's the sword, and the positioning of the hand, and yeah, that's it. Or maybe he's holding like a knife. Okay, so I think I forgot to draw the sword. Anyways, let's move on. But still, this pose needs to be worked at further, and we can always go to the liquify tool eventually afterwards. I'll do that in the next video session, and let's just now, for the sake of discussion, let's draw another movement pose or a walking pose. There you can see, here you can see that I'm actually bending or slightly curving the legs just to make them look more human or realistic. So this is another technique that most illustrators use when they're drawing legs and hands. They create like this curve. The upper arm has a curve, the lower arm has a curve. This gives it more fluid movement, as well as it gives it more of like a visual element that the leg is a living being and not something mechanical, because mechanical objects are straightened very finely and there's no curve to the mechanical objects. It's just a straight pipe. Whereas human bones, they have a curvature or a slight bend towards the end of it. This gives it this is the reason that we are very flexible human beings, and we can do gymnastics and other sports related activities because of that flexibility of our bone structure and our muscle structure. So here we are doing another pose. I think this time I'm turning and twisting the character's upper torso and the lower torso a little bit, so that he is turned towards the side. And okay, so this boxing glove that you can see is fairly in the back. I mean, like, you can't see it because his back is turned, but the boxing glove on the right side, you can see that. So this is sort of like him standing and in a boxing fight match, and he's trying to like lay a right jab and he's got his left jab hidden. So I'm going to now move the characters poses and move these poses into one line, and I'm going to create a duplicate and